Jar Jar Binks, a Star Wars story. Exterior, Coruscant, night. Soothing jizz music plays as the lights of Coruscant pierce the dark. Ships bustle around, lanes of traffic filling the night sky.
Misa used to look out at the night sky on Coruscant, at all the pretty colors and the big bombard ships.
Interior, apartment. The room is dark. The only visible light filters in through the slits in the window blinds. We pan over to the side to see an open door. Dim light shines on the floor through the doorway and illuminates the smoke hanging in the air. Exterior, balcony.
Death sticks. Misa never tried them before Order 66. Misa never even considered. But now, I can't get enough.
Jar Jar stands on the balcony of his apartment, a glowing yellow death stick in his hand. He leans on the railing, watching the ships go by. He puts the death stick back in his mouth.
Oi.
Interior, apartment, morning. Jar Jar lays on his stomach in bed. The sheets are stained and gross. The nightstand next to him is covered in glass bottles and cans. Suddenly, a blue hologram bursts to life on the table's surface. Palpatine looks at his minion in disgust.
Uh-oh.
Jar Jar, I need to see you in my office. Immediately.
The hologram disappears. Jar Jar groans and gets up out of bed. Interior, hallway. Jar Jar pads along, head bobbing and ears flapping, just as Lord George intended. But the spring in his step is gone.
Sheev Palpatine. Oi.
Jar Jar reaches the door to Palpatine's office. He pokes a finger at the console on the wall. It buzzes at him. The doors slide open. Interior, Palpatine's office. The Emperor sits in his spinny chair behind his desk. A hologram of Darth Vader kneels in front of him.
And I said to the guy, I said, Jedi, more like you die. And then I zapped him with my lightning, and he was rolling around on the floor in pain like, don't kill me, please. And he was like, help me. And it was hilarious. You really should have been there. So, how are things with you? Good? Sheev sees Jar Jar's idiotic form appear through Vader's blue projection. Jar Jar's eyes widen at the sight of an old friend.
Annie? Annie! Misa so smiling to see you, sir, girl.
Vader's holographic hand raises up, balled in a fist. Jar Jar's hands dart to his neck as he gasps for air.
I'll have to call you back.
Sheev presses down on one of the buttons on his chair. Darth Vader's hologram disappears, and Jar Jar catches his breath.
Yes. Jar Jar. Welcome.
Jar Jar plops down into a seat across from the Sheev.
Palpatine changed after the Jedi fallen. He's a scaring me moi all the time. In the history books, he's the type of guy who's called Gungan's cold fish.
Sheev's eyes glow evilly beneath his hood. He flashes his yellow teeth and brings his wrinkly hands together.
Okay, Day, cut the bullshit. What is Misa here for?
I know about the girl, Binks.
Jar Jar gulps. He takes a deep, shaky breath and scratches his head.
What did you say?
The twi'lek stripper. I know your feelings.
Jar Jar's mouth opens and his tongue darts outwards. He stands up, his eyes go wide, and his hands swing in giant arcs over his head.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
Sheev smiles. He laughs like a fucking retard too.
If you wish to serve under my order, you will do my bidding, or you can become a slave like the rest of your cold fish kind.
Jar Jar shakes his head. His cheeks flap wildly and stupidly. It's really uncomfortable to look at.
No, no! Please! Wasn't Misa supposed to do then?
You will kill her. Jar Jar stumbles backwards. He tries to reach for a chair for support and misses. He slams into the ground and tries to stand up, but slips on the back of his robe. He falls down again. He grabs a stand next to one of the chairs to support himself, but then it falls down too. He finally stands up and dusts himself off. Classic Jar Jar.
No! Misa can never kill Misa, sweetie!
The Emperor stands up and walks over to Jar Jar's side. He reaches into his robe and pulls out a blaster pistol. He takes Jar Jar's fishy hands into his own wrinkly claws and places the gun into them. I have done so much for you, Jar Jar. You have done very, very little for me. All I ask is that you dedicate yourself to the cause, the glory of the Empire. But then, you go off chasing tail. Literally. You must kill her. Forget about her. Do it. Jar Jar looks at the gun in his hands.
Misa can't.
Sheev walks over to the window, looking dreamily outside. It's a beautiful day on Coruscant. In the sky, the incomplete skeleton of the Death Star reflects sunlight, just barely visible. Have you ever heard about the Death Star, Jar Jar? Jar Jar looks up from the blaster, fear in his eyes.
The planet killer. Moi Bombad.
Yes, moi Bombad indeed. Sheev slowly turns his head. The white glint of his eyes spark at Jar Jar. Oh, it would be a shame if Naboo were targeted when it becomes fully operational. Jar Jar grits his teeth and pockets the blaster.
Fine.
Jar Jar storms out of the office as Darth Sidious cackles to himself. Interior, nightclub, night. Some shitty CGI alien woman thing stands on a stage and sings in a shitty voice capable of making thousands of fat men hate Star Wars. Her CGI band sings along, making things even worse. A small furry thing sitting next to a drum shouts.
Oh, Misa not liking this one itty bitty bit. Misa sweetie is so good to Misa. Misa love her something moi Bombad.
Jar Jar enters the club and makes his way through the crowd. He wears a long trench coat. The shitty CGI band has finished their set and is taking a break. The lighting is dim. Pink and red spotlights shine on strippers dancing on poles. Random scummy aliens sit around, enjoying the show. Boba Fett stands awkwardly in a corner. Jar Jar passes by the stage and the people gather around it. Jar Jar passes the bar. The bartender smiles at him.
Hey Jar, how you been?
Jar Jar avoids his gaze as he pushes his way into a back room. Interior, dressing room. Several girls get ready for their show, including a red twi'lek. Jar Jar stumbles into the room and runs into a mannequin. He falls down in a pile of trashy clothes. The twi'lek turns in shock.
Jar Jar!
The twi'lek runs over and helps dig Jar Jar out of his mess. He sits up and shakes his head, his lips doing a raspberry. He has a pink feathered boa wrapped around his shoulders and an earring looped around his eye stalk.
Oh.
The twi'lek picks the whore clothes off of him and gets him back up on his feet. Jar Jar embraces her, then pulls away.
Jar Jar? What's wrong?
Jar Jar looks at his feet, then back up at her.
Misa, sorry.
Jar Jar draws his gun, points it right at the twi'lek's forehead. Her jaw drops.
Jar Jar? What's come over you?
Jar Jar wipes tears on his sleeve, still pointing the gun with the other arm.
It's the Emperor. He threatened Misa people. Misa having to kill you, sir. Misa having no choice in...
The twi'lek is shocked. Now tears are running down her cheeks. How did he know?
Misa no. He's a smart. does the moi big thinking. That's why Misa been scared. He's smart enough to destroy Misa planet. Misa people.
Jar Jar's hand shakes as his finger hovers over the trigger.
Please! Please!
Misa never could have been seeing this happening. That day when Qui-Gon, Obi Kenobi, Annie and friends came to saving Misa and stopping the big mechanics. Misa wondered, in that moment, finger on the trigger, sweat running down Misa's face, what things would have been like if Misa had never helped that Jedi. Then, Misa remembered Misa's whole planet was occupied by the stormtroopers. That Misa's way of life was destined to go south either way. Misa tried to imagine she was a droid, the girl in front of Misa. But then I saw the tears. The light in the tears reminded Misa of the waters of Naboo. Misa began to pull away. Misa's hand began to lower. Misa couldn't.
Suddenly, the door bursts open. Boba Fett stands proudly.
Is it time for my lip?
Boba jumps at the sight of Jar Jar. He draws his blaster and puts a hole in the Gungan's chest. Jar Jar collapses as Boba stomps over. He looks down at his victim curiously.
Huh?
Boba looks up at the twi'lek.
You know this guy, babe?
The twi'lek wipes her tears, then takes a deep breath. She flips one of her head tails over her shoulder and bats her eyes at the bounty hunter.
No, you're the only man I need, Boba.
Written by Ryan Johnson.
I want to give a big thank you to Max, aka Movie Lover, who wrote this hilarious screenplay for us. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Daniel Connor, who provided the amazing voice work for this animation. Check out his channel, he does fantastic work. Links in the description below. If you like this video, why not check out our Table Read podcast, where me and my co-host Danny read out the original first draft of the script. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to Ryan Johnson.